think Joe Perry has got a good attitude to this match. He's going to do the best he can, play the balls, not worry too much about who he's playing, just stick to his game, stick to his method, and in most matches that's enough. It's a very encouraging start for Higgins, though, just rolling in that long red. Didn't make his intended cannon,
8,
which would have held him in position.
Very unlike, sorry Clive, very unlike John to miss a cannon like that. Still has this red to right corner, but this has to be cued perfectly.
Foul. John Higgins 8.
Not quite enough
4.
backspin on the cue ball as he struck down on it. So instead of finishing top side of the blue, the cue ball finishes in the middle pocket. We caught a glimpse a couple of shots ago of Micah Kessler, the referee. There are several lady referees from the continent who are making their way up the refereeing ladder. She wouldn't be refereeing such an important match on television if she wasn't highly thought of by the powers that be. Higgins has won 3 ranking titles this year. Welsh Open, Australian Open, and most recently China's International Championship.
Now is John going to play into the pack of reds off this? It's a good angle on the yellow. That surprises me that he didn't, especially with the black as it is, somewhat out of commission.
3. Oh,
that was better than it looked, that shot, to get absolutely plumb on the blue. I think he will go into them this time because there's no in-off on. Just want to hit that pink right on the apex of it. Beautiful shot again.
Perhaps he waited a couple of shots
9.
instead of going into the bunch from the yellow, because going into it from the blue, he was always going to dislodge the pink, which was important as the black is under a cushion.
10.
Yeah, playing the brown. Round off 3 cushions for a choice of a couple of reds isn't a bad option here. You'd fancy him to get on one. Just needs a bounce off this 3rd cushion. Perfect.
14.
Had there been a red between the black spot and the cushion, he might have been tempted to play for black, but not having to do so much from the black to his next red, simply too difficult when he got a reasonable alternative in the form of the pink.
One.
Yeah, not absolutely imperative that he gets top side of the blue here, sorry, but that's what he'll be tracking. Blue or bulk colour. Oh, he's completely mishit it. That is very
22.
fortunate.
The cue ball was going into baulk from that. Joe Perry hoping that Higgins isn't going to make too many. Missed his intended cannon on the pink.
27.
Didn't play it at speed because the pink is detached from the bunch of reds, so elected to play a precise cannon.
Yeah, you don't see John miss hit 2 shots in a row like that very often.
John Higgins, 27.
Well, just for variety, that was under hit.
Just a little test of cue in here, the figure of 8 safety. The red shouldn't come back up the table, it'll go into the other bunch of reds, I would think. Well, he's got it thin enough where he's not done any damage. I'll be quite satisfied with that, actually. Yeah, this is what you're going to see tonight, Clive, isn't it? You'll see both players playing a lot of really good safety. They don't make errors, not mental errors, these guys.
Higgins forced into using the side cushion, the black being the end ball to the right.
Nice little chance here for Joe to push that black ball into play. Try and get the cue ball up somewhere behind the blue if he can. Well, not in behind it, but as I say, the black now being in play favours Joe Perry.
Because he's hoping that it will help him to overcome his 31-point deficit.
I'd actually like to miss this red direct here, John. Cushion first would be good, or thin. He's got it a fraction thick. He's got second prize and pushing it to the side cushion.
Not such a good safety from Perry that time.
Yeah, he can ill afford those mistakes this evening, Joe Perry. Has to be watertight every time he plays a safety shot.
One. Eight. Nine. Sixteen. Seventeen.
Lovely, delicate soft screw there. This is where Higgins is going to clinch the opening frame.
23. 24.
62 in front.
31.
Only 59 remaining. And 59 won't be remaining for long.
Thirty-two. 39.
A tester along the cushion, albeit not as much of a tester as it would have been if it had been frame ball.
John Higgins, 40 in the frame.
So with that 40 break, John Higgins takes a 1-0 lead.
Welcome back to the Champion of Champions and the playoff match in Group 1 featuring Joe Perry and John Higgins. Higgins has taken the opening frame in this best of 11 match as we pick up the action in the second. Higgins at the table, commentary from Clive Everton and Alan McManus.
John Higgins, 25.
And although the red has finished near the pocket, not the start of a break for Perry. Can't leave the red there though. Almost no risk attached to attempting that double. Would have had black ball position had it gone in.
Now he's looked at this 2-ball plant, just not really too sure whether he fancies it. Having another look. Now you see it just has to be made. It's just set to the left-hand jaw as we look. I think the reason he would like to play it is he would expect to be in black or pink. He doesn't have to play this all that hard. I'm surprised he played it at that pace, so he's trusting to luck. And it's not really all that good. He's on black and pink, and in fact the blue as well, but neither's a bargain. Very missable. Whichever colour he decides to take on, I think he'll want to take one on. If it were me, I would fancy him most of all to pot the blue. I think that's the one that I'd be playing. I think he'd pot the blue about probably 7 or 8 out of 10. The black's horrible. This is really tough. Blind pocket, half ball cut. Yeah, that's very, very difficult shot, that.
Joe Perry won.
Almost fluked it in a ball pocket, but whether he'd taken the black or the blue, there was huge pressure on the shot because he knew that if he missed, he was leaving Higgins right in.
One.
Yes, he doesn't really want to play the black. It's so close to the jaws of the pocket that cue ball control's far from certain. So he may elect to just play the green and the deep screw for a choice of 2 or 3 reds. As I say, this isn't easy to drop on one of the loose ones, but he's playing the black. In actual fact, when you play this shot, you're almost trusting to luck. You just a case of hit the black thin and hope you drop somewhere around the middle of the table.
as good as it could have been.
Yeah, it's not perfect, is it? But it's not bad. Wouldn't expect him to miss this. Playing for yellow or brown. If it goes in, expect him to win the frame. Good shot.
9.
Perry unable to make any impact on the match so far.
Yeah, the problem is, when you play John Higgins, sometimes you feel like you're playing a chess master and he's the guy with the white pieces. He just always seems to be one step ahead of you. Joe can ill afford any of those couple of silly little mistakes he's made the first 2 frames. It's almost 2-0.
Higgins 40 in front already. It looks as if Higgins is sure to cannon at least one red towards the right corner.
Yeah, it's a good shout, Clive. The red to the extreme right is the one he'll be looking to catch full.
But sometimes when you're wondering about position, you miss the pot. So Perry's still in with a chance in this second frame.
Yeah, green, the positive shot. Just a bit of top, just one cushion for a choice of reds. Needs a cue ball to pull up. Oh, well, he's just on it.
4.
This pink looks on the straight side to play good position.
This is a big shot coming up here. If Joe pots a red here, I fancy him to win the frame. All 3 are on, but none are easy. As I say, if this goes in, he's going to give himself a decent chance. Big shot, this.
Joe Perry 11.
Overcut though.
John sending both reds into the ball carrier, white in behind the black, hoping to put something safe as well. He's got one of them safe.
Good long red.
Six. Seven.
Although it's early on in the match, this would be a huge body blow to John Higgins if Joe Perry were to go on and clear from here. He's not really been in the first couple of frames, Joe, and John should have won it. That pink that he missed a few shots ago looks like it might just come back and haunt him. This is virtually frame ball.
Shouldn't have any further difficulty now. But it's never as easy as it looks.
14. Sixteen. 19. 23.
Whenever all the colours are on their spots, you've got to expect any top player to clear them.
28. 34.
So with that 41 clearance, Joe Perry snatches the frame on the black and equalises at 1-all.
Welcome back to the Group 1 playoff match in the Champion of Champions tournament between Perry and Higgins. It's all level after the opening two frames. This is now the third.
I was talking to Higgins this week and he said that he made an adjustment in his stance which has proved beneficial. He was doing a coaching clinic in Shanghai just prior to the World Cup in Wuxi City, and he advised a girl student to stand slightly differently, and afterwards he thought, do I do that? And he went into the practice room, found that he didn't, and thought, well, it'll be a good idea to try this, and he dates his fine run of form from making that small adjustment. Meanwhile, Joe Perry has gained the early advantage with that long red which enabled him to lay a snooker. He said that he now stands slightly more square on. We can't really see it, I don't think, from this angle. And he said previously his right leg was leading off into areas it shouldn't be. But that looks pretty much square on.
Foul. Miss. Joe Perry 6. One.
Isn't it the way though, Alan, you discover one beneficial wrinkle and then something else goes wrong?
And usually more than one. No, you're right though, Clive. For a professional
6.
snooker player, it's just a daily battle to keep your form up somewhere around where you want it to be. A lot of these top players make the game look very easy, but
7.
of course it takes a lot of practice over a lot of years.
Fourteen.
Meanwhile, Perry making the early running in the third frame.
Yeah, I think it's just what he needs, this Joe Perry. A nice little chance with a
22.
bunch of open reds and around the black spot, just to get his arm free, a little bit of confidence going. He's not spent all that much time down this end of the table,
23.
even although it's at 1-all.
Well, I thought he was running round for the red to the left of the pink to left corner. Anyway, he's finished
31.
nicely on that red.
Yeah, I think in the back of his mind he always knew it was up there, so he probably played it with a bit more pace than normal. As you say, back in decent position now. Does he have an angle here to play for black?
34.
May have to go back up for blue off this. No, he's straight enough, so he's absolutely fine here.
35. Two. 43.
Yeah, it doesn't want to play for the one down the cushion. Nothing goes to the corners really, but he does have the one left of the pack that will go to right middle.
One.
Oh, that was excellent control. I'm not sure if the red in the middle of those, that bunch would have went, so that was beautifully controlled, as I say. Made the red an absolute certainty,
59.
which is just about over the line in this frame then. And from a position where he was looking like being 2-0 down, Joe Perry, he's all of a sudden, 10 minutes or so later, and he's 2-1 up.
66. 67. 74.
Joe's father, Peter, in the middle there, watching this appreciatively.
75. Joe Perry, 75.
Tried to manufacture an angle that wasn't really there, but it makes no difference. The break of 75 puts Joe Perry 2-1 ahead.
Welcome back to this Group 1 playoff match between Joe Perry and John Higgins. Perry ahead by 1 after 3 frames. This is now the 4th. Higgins at the table. Commentary comes from Clive Everton and Alan McManus.
Oh, nice play that beautifully. Be unlucky to go in off, but I don't think there's any damage done. Okay, Joe can have cue ball in hand and should be able to attack John again, but John just got himself out of a bit of a problem he was in just then. He'll be playing this in the thick side, Joe, the figure of 8 safety, tracking in behind the brown if he can. He'll be hitting this thick. Oh, he's got it a little bit too thin. That's a mistake, but at least he's not pushed the red on.
There is at least one possible red near the pink spot.
You just get the impression that he doesn't like it, though, that he doesn't fancy it. Not guaranteed position, even if he pots it. This is a tough one.
One. Eight. Nine.
was playing for green there. But the screw back with the reverse side
11.
was an effective second prize.
Yeah, and the way he's just had a look at the black, he must be dead straight in this red, able to just drop through for a low black. He can just about avoid the cannon on the other one if he pots it off the right hand jaw as we look. And he decides he can't avoid the cannon, so it's another deep screw for yellow or green. It's just hard work right now, but that's another brilliant
12.
shot.
Straight on the yellow, so he has a much better angle on the green. And he's just plotting his line of approach to his next red.
Yeah, I can see why he played the cannon. He was just trying to make something happen. There was obviously nothing would go where he could get on the black following the next red, so he just tried to push them into different positions. It was a risk he didn't have to take, but as I say, I don't really blame him. He was trying to win the frame at that visit.
Still relying on low value colours.
Oh, what a shot that is. To finish virtually straight in that red was first class. If he can drop this in, it's a big chance.
Particularly now that he has the black in play.
Six. 27. 34. 35.
'It's top stuff, this.
42.
And John, as Clive mentioned earlier, having to go up and take some low value colours at the start of this
43.
was really difficult. He done amazingly well a couple of times just to keep the break going. He's now on the verge of winning it. And after losing that second frame the way he did when Joe Perry made that brilliant 3-red clearance, it's good response, this.
One. $58.
A red and a black would see him past the post in this frame, barring a snooker.
59. $66. John Higgins, 66.
Higgins built that 66 break up beautifully.
After 5 frames, Higgins has the lead, but only just. The match is the best of 11 frames, and as we pick up the action in the 6th, Perry is at the table. Commentary from Alan McManus and Clive Everton.
One.
Secondary balls nicely avoided.
Yeah, that was well controlled, that, wasn't it? He found the gap that he deliberately played for. Decent little angle on the blue, nice little path down, a little bit of right hand side just to check the cue ball straight back up for a choice of reds.
Six. Seven. $14. $15.
Chance for a frame winning break, this.
22. $23.
Well, not his best, but may not be the end of the road.
$31.
He made that last cut to middle look a lot easier than it was.
Five.
Yes, as I said before the interval, I think what we have tonight, it's a proper tough match, isn't it? Never more than a frame in it. Joe Perry almost on the verge of levelling for the third time at 3-all. You feel like if at any stage someone opens a 2-frame advantage at 5-3,
41.
would be well on the road to victory. But as I say, it's such a tough match to call. A proper match snooker this is.
Between two players with similar styles. So this red is frame ball, barring snookers.
50. $57. 58.
Yes, he made some heavy work of the middle part of this break, but he's out of the woods now. Is Joe.
65.
He's full of confidence. All those little delicate little missable shots, he seems to be playing them well. He had a little cut back brown halfway through this contribution that could have gone wrong, but when you're playing well, you don't see problems with those situations. He's playing very, very well as Joe Perry.
72. 73. 79. 80. 85.
This yellow surely the key to a century.
87.
Yeah, and I know there was no pressure on it, but he struck that really sweetly. As I said just beforehand, all those little missable shots, Joe Perry, he just looks like he's going to knock them in. Going to stand him in good stead for the best of 5 that we have for the remainder of this match.
$94. 99. 105.
the 208th century of Joe Perry's 24-year professional career. And it ends with a clearance of 112 as he levels the match.
Welcome back to the Champion of Champions and the playoff match in Group 1 featuring Joe Perry and John Higgins. Perry, with a break of 112 in the last, has levelled the match, whilst this break in the 7th ensured he'd take the lead. In a scrappy 8th, Higgins kept in front and edged his way to the win to even things out. This is now the 9th, Higgins at the table and building a break after Perry's failed safety.
Perry hoping that his loose safety won't cost him too dearly.
9.
I think it will cost him at least 30.
That was
16.
beautifully struck, that black. Now, is he going to decide to get low on this black and screw it into the face of the pack? I think that's maybe what he played. I don't know if he'd a hint of a kick, but he won't be going into the black off this, so just playing for the loose one in the same pocket. Yeah, a hint of a kick again. This time he's decided to get the white cleaned.
24.
Just not such a good pack to go into now if he was to be low in the black, because he doesn't have that loose red, obviously. So this is going to take a bit of working out.
There are 2 reds still out. So Higgins delays the pack opener and may choose to go into it
32.
from the blue. It's much more likely that reds will go towards the corners if he goes into the pack from the blue than if he went into a fairly flat back row of reds from the black. So much for the theory.
Yes,
38.
he just didn't quite execute it. He just got the red on the left-hand side of it as we look. Just lost the cue ball, so it's end of break. From what looked like a promising position, as I say, at 4 each in a best of 11, John Higgins would normally be all over that chance. It's gone begging.
I think Perry will be relieved that Higgins' break is not more than 38.
Wasn't a bad guess of yours, Clive, 30.
I was counting the loose reds. Well,
39.
Higgins keeps the break going, but couldn't control the cue ball for black ball position. He calculated, though, that there was no risk in the double.
John Higgins, 39.
A break of 39, and black tucked to the cushion.
I think Joe's going to have to take this red on now to right corner. Do well to avoid a kiss on the way back. If he can knock this in, he's got every chance of getting on something. Oh, so close again. How's his cue ball? I think it's no good. He's left the red. That cue ball will pass the blue without any problem.
With that sort of shot, the cue ball tends to dig into the cushion, so Higgins didn't get far enough back for blue. Could have done without the cannon on the yellow.
6.
Yeah, he's now looking at the cross double. He'll be playing the pot here, John, in the left corner. I expect him to get quite close to this.
John Higgins, 6.
He has to content himself for the moment, though, with a 45-point lead. As old Fred Davis used to remark, those middle pocket jaws stick out like chapel hat pegs. So when Perry contacted that middle pocket jaw, it did give Higgins a chance, albeit one from which he couldn't fully control the cue ball.
Yeah, just the fact that he potted that in the right-hand side of the pocket as we look. Just made the cue ball travel on and off the cushion a bit farther than he wanted, so he's got a choice of reds, both with the rest. The one he's choosing to play, at least there's not an awful lot of pressure on it. He'll be going back up for baulk colour. So all about the pot here. You have to think if he knocks it in, he'll be on his way to securing a 5-4 lead. And it would be the third separate time he will have led in this match if he indeed goes 5-4 up.
Would have preferred to have left the cue ball short of the baulk line for an easy brown or green. He leads by 53.
Brown ball. John Higgins 8.
So it's time to close the frame up by pushing the brown to a safe position.
Joe Perry 1.
Very good. Perfect length.
Now, can he possibly try and push the black into play here, Joe Perry? I think he'll get maybe close to it. You know, way too thick. But he was trying to get behind the green. It's a good effort, this.
Higgins still defending his lead. Tough red, but I think he felt he had to go for that. It has, however, given Higgins a frame clinching chance.
One. Seven.
So Perry knows he's going to be 5-4 down.
Fourteen.
66 the difference, only 51 left.
John Higgins, 14 frame.
So Perry couldn't get into that frame. Higgins controlled it, and Higgins is 1 up with 2 to play. He leads by 5 frames to 4.
Welcome back to the Group 1 playoff match in the Champion of Champions tournament between Perry and Higgins. It's John Higgins who has edged ahead at a crucial stage in this match, just 1 away from the win as we pick up the action in the 10th.
Oh, we hit it decent. Not decent enough though. So, a big chance for Joe.
One.
Yeah, lots of work to do though. Black won't be available into either corner once it goes back in its spot, so they want to clear one of those as quick as possible. Pink completely out of the game right now. I think he's just considering whether to play a deep screw and try and just release the pink.
Eight.
Pink's still unavailable. Black still won't go to either corner.
There's nothing much doing to the left corner, is there? He may have to trust a bit of luck here, play some sort of cannon with a bit of pace. Difficult to see how we can avoid the red or black, potting this red in the right corner. And they'll be busy getting on blue or yellow from this red. Oh, the pink went with it. That is a beautiful shot, Clive. Perfect angle as well to just chip the red away.
Yes, I didn't take in at first sight that If he got on the pink at a certain angle, it would go.
$15. $16.
Not very good. Surely intended to screw back another 4 or 5 inches.
Yeah, the difficulty with that red, he had to just pinch the pocket, had to pot it in the left-hand side of the pocket, which didn't leave him a lot of room to land on the pink. It was easy to miss-hit that. Tell you what a recovery pot that was, and to keep the cue ball as far down the table as well, that was impressive. Deserves everything that he gets from this.
$23.
Nice little full ball cannon on the red just to the right of the pink. So we'll be tracking here. Well played.
$29. $30.
Perry starting to make significant progress towards 5-all.
$36.
That was a poor shot. Should never have been straight in this red to the corner. Obviously has the one to the right middle that he can use. It's a change of plan. Shouldn't really be a problem. He'd love to be on the blue off this red, but yellow's automatically going to be on. I say he's trying if he can get top side of the blue. He's just the wrong side of it, but yellow's always there, as I said. Yeah, and the two reds directly below the pink, I think, are the ones he'll be tracking here. Surprised he played on this one. When I say this one, I mean, of course, the one to the right with the rest. It's not going to be easy to get on the pink off this. Strange positional shot that for me.
Very nice recovery, screwing across from pink to middle.
$46. $47. 73. Four.
So it's a pound to a gooseberry now that Perry is going to level the match at 5-all at this visit. Higgins is going to have to play an 11th frame decider.
65. $72. $73.
Perry adding this frame winner to earlier frame winners of 75, 112 and 85.
80. $81.
A resolute, high-quality effort.
87.
This from Joe Perry.
Joe Perry, 87. And frame.
It ends on 87. But that frame winner has taken the match the full distance. It's 5-all. We're in for a deciding 11th frame.
Welcome back to this Group 1 playoff match between Joe Perry and John Higgins. This is now the deciding frame, a place in the semi-finals at stake. Commentary from Clive Everton and Alan McManus.
So here we go. This is the decider. This is for a place in the semi-finals. Should be safe enough into the side of the pack.
Now he's spotted the pink. I think he'll just draw back here 5 or 6 inches.
You could say that Higgins played the escape slightly too hard, but he didn't want the side spin to run out before it reached the side cushion.
Yeah, it was a pretty high tariff escape actually. Anything short and he would have probably left the red to left corner. But it's gone now, and anyway it's first chance to Joe. The way he's been scoring, we know the black passes because he was almost he almost played for it off the first red, so this, even although it's 5-all and there's lots of tension out there, it's a decent chance.
Seven. 8.
Joe Perry has beaten all the top players on occasion. True,
15.
he's beaten Higgins only once in 9 attempts.
16.
But he knows that if he can keep maintaining the standard that he's shown for most of this match, he's capable of a win here. Very nicely played.
23.
Good control, good touch at close quarters.
24.
Higgins hoping for at least one chance in this decider. But the way Perry's playing,
31.
he may not get it.
Oh, he's had a monster kick.
32.
Oh, he's disgusted, and I don't blame him. I'm actually disappointed for him.
On impact, the cue ball leapt off the bed of the table. Bad luck for Perry, good luck for Higgins.
Joe Perry, 32.
So Perry forced to stick on 32 and elects to push the black under the cushion to make it more difficult for Higgins to make a substantial break in reply if he does get in.
Well, if he's left John a straightish plant here, he'd be absolutely kicking himself if John knocks this in. It's set absolutely bang on, but it's not there. Has he gotten away with it?
On screen, that red looks cuttable.
Not the sort of shot you want to play dead weight at this stage of a match. It's just about okay. Wrong side of the blue shouldn't be a problem this time. Yeah, good shot. Those two reds to right of picture,
6.
they obviously both go, or he wouldn't have played that shot, so he's absolutely perfect here. And his plan will be to forget all about the pink and black for the remainder
7.
of this contribution. Another 4 or 5 blues would be more than enough to see him into Saturday's semi-finals. Let's just have a count at it. 44 and 18 would be 62 with 5 reds on. So he's going to need at least one of those 5 reds just above the pink.
Joe Perry closing in on a famous victory. Higgins hoping that he's just going to get one chance.
25.
I doubt that Perry will miss this blue, but he needs one more red to leave Higgins at the snooker's required stage, and he's not in the best position to open that cluster.
No real control over where the reds and pink are going to finish here. I know one thing he won't be doing is bringing that black into play. So he'll be playing this on the thick side. There you see it. Has he done any damage? Oh, the pinks maybe come to his rescue.
Joe Perry, 30.
To go 62 in front. Well, that was an attempted pot. But caught the red much too thin. Got the cue ball well back into baulk.
Trouble with John playing this red that's by the pink spot here. One thing he doesn't want to do is pot it. He wants to bring the pink into play, but I don't know whether he can catch it thick enough without going in off. In fact, he could get the other one. So what a difference that makes, although the black is still safe. At least it's off the cushion. It's not that difficult to stop John potting a red at his next visit. He could roll the loose red onto this black cushion, but then John would bring pink into play. He's hit it all wrong, but he's been quite fortunate. No massive damage has been done, apart from the fact that the black's now going to be in play.
I remember that John Higgins won the Masters once at Wembley Conference Centre on the final black against Ronnie O'Sullivan with a 70-odd clearance.
And to this day, I don't know how the first red of that break reached the right-hand middle pocket. Do you, Clive? You remember it?
Not as well as you, actually, Alan, but it was a terrific performance nonetheless.
Yeah, I'll tell you a quick story about that. John played a dead weight red to the right middle pocket, the first shot of that break, and he thought he'd underhit it and thought it had no chance of reaching, and he was about to shake Ronnie's hand, and somehow it managed to go in. Needless to say, he cleaned up and won the title.
So both pink and black are in play now, in potable positions. Length of the table, but this red is potable to right corner.
Yeah, it's a big shot, isn't it? He doesn't really have any other alternative. He's going to have to take it on. He'd be odds on to leave something should he miss it, but it is match ball.
And he has potted it. been favoured by the position in which the pink has finished. And surely he's done enough to get over the line. Disappointment for Higgins,
7.
but a very fine performance from Perry,
8.
who was 5-4 down, but equalised at 5-all, making his father very happy. An 87 break in that 10th frame, and in this frame he went out to
12.
an early lead with contributions of 32 and 30,
13.
and there was no counter-attack from Higgins. Joe Perry is a semi-finalist. He has beaten the 4 times world champion John Higgins by 6 frames to 5.
Joe Perry emerges victorious from a thrilling playoff in Group 1. He's through to the semi-finals. The attention will now switch to Group 2, which features the former world champion Neil Robertson, Rory McIlroy, Shaun Murphy and